afternoon. How are you all doing? Afternoon, Mumo. Afternoon, Fletch, Paul, Marco, Soul Trader, Robert. Afternoon, evening, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you are. How are you all doing? Is ORB going to give us a Good Friday, or does that only happen at Easter time? Good one. Hopefully. Already had a fantastic break this morning on the DAX. ORB today on the DAX, really easy. Beautiful move today. So started off, that was your 5 minute, I think. Yeah, that was the 5 minute, which was too small. 10 minute was too small. 15 minute spot on. So break of the 15 minute short. We sat around for a good, at this point here, I don't know how long it was in. It was about 2 hours in. I was sitting there thinking, I'm just going to shut this. And then I thought, no, I'm not going to shut it because I've had a fantastic week. I'm going to let it go. And then it collapsed. Straight down to target, partial. Trailing stops locked in. And ADR target is miles away. ADR target's all the way down there. So you never know. We might get an ADR target. But if you... I posted this morning, if you were in Discord, on the DAX, that we have just hit a very, very, very important level. So I posted this morning, and as if like clockwork, it worked. So we hit the 2 month high, which is a previous resistance. We did peek through it once, but it's a previous resistance level. And we hit that this morning. And I said, watch this come down, which it is. But it's coming down very nicely and aggressively, which is good. So I'm just holding this, see if we can get an ADR out of it today. So yeah, up 20% on the week, which is nice. So hopefully Friday will be a continuation of that. And on a plus note, I'm about to get hopefully another evaluation over the line this afternoon. Which I'm $87.50 away from finishing. I basically just need one good ORB. So this account is linked into MT5. So any trades that are taken on here will be mimicked onto this evaluation. Hopefully get this one over the line today as well. What's your opinion on all this digital ID BS in the UK? I don't know. I really don't. It's just Big Brother in it, basically, at the end of the day. But I kind of agree with it and I kind of don't, because we have got to do something about immigration in this country. We are getting swamped. I have no problem with people coming into this country and contributing. But when they're not contributing, you kind of want to do something about it. And I don't really see how digital ID is going to make sure that people can only work if they have a digital ID. Anything digital can be spoofed. So what I think we're doing is introducing something that's much easier for the criminals to forge. I don't know. I don't think anything will work, to be honest. I really don't. I had an idea, and I've shared this with my friends. I'll share it with you as well, right? We've got a load of people in the UK that love diving, and they go to these horrible jobs in the day. So what we could do is say to them, you can leave your horrible job and do what you love, which is diving. But on one condition, you have to sit in the middle of the English Channel in a line, all of you, with a spear gun. And if you see any big black boats coming above you, just pop them. Yeah, but make sure you do it before they get to the bit which is closer to us than France. And then they will all swim back to France or be rescued by France. Solves immigration. Anyway, that's my idea. I have written to Keir Starmer and put that forward, but I haven't heard anything back. I don't know why. Morning, Mayor. Still trading the M1 ORB on the side? I am occasionally, yes. I have, to be honest, I've let that slip a little bit because I've been busy building this monster of a website. So I've been just trading ORB because ORB works. So, but yeah, the M5, M1 version, yeah. I've got to do a load of robustness testing on it, and the problem is it's M1, so it's really hard to test. It takes absolutely ages. Okay, so there's your 30 minutes Sorry, a 30-minute. There's your Dow, US 30. ORB today, huge 5-minute range on that one. NASDAQ range, we're nicely bang in the middle. Beautiful range. That's probably just over 15% of ADR. That is about almost 30% of ADR. Gold. Okay, so the gold 1 bar range is actually good, but it's close to high. So I'll be taking the 10-minute on that. So all three in play today, which is good. I want to move this one down here, shouldn't I? That was this morning's gold, which was nothing. I took that. I've actually just taken that trade there. So I took a break of this high here. So I've just got on that, which is where I've made this $489 this morning. So fingers crossed we do get some decent breaks today, because I could really do with getting this evaluation over the line today. All part of my cunning plan. I did a video about it and it's worked. So we'll see where these go. FX wise today, there's quite a few AWRs, weeklies, but there's nothing on ADR today. Really, really flat. So we've had a fair bit of movement on the DAX, but FX wise, as you can see today, there's very little movement at all today. So we'll see what happens. Looking at the news, these have not updated. Let me just check Forex Factory as well. Yeah, so I assume we have delayed the non-farm payroll today. We've got PMIs are still on the calendar there. So don't look like we're getting non-farm today. Obviously, I mean, when they say delayed, this is trouble with this shutdown thing. There's no information coming out, is there? So it may be we get them, maybe we don't. They might just dump them at any time. They might not do anything, but they haven't told us what's going on. So volatility-wise today, very difficult with the news to predict what's going on, isn't it? But play it by ear, I guess, today. Digital ID coming to Australia. I thought you already had it in Australia. Isn't Australia? When we on our news over here, they said that a couple of countries have already got it, and I could have sworn it was Australia had it. Maybe it was New Zealand. Long on the Dow. Long Dow. Yeah, I thought Australia had it. Maybe it might be New Zealand. I don't know. Obviously, if you're saying it's coming to Australia, then they haven't got it. If you're in Australia, I believe you. Looks like we're going to go long on the NASDAQ as well. We're trying. We're inside bar at the moment. Spent some time in Saudi Arabia. All details are digital. Don't see a problem with it unless you're not meant to be in the country. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point, isn't it? You're not meant to be in the country. You haven't got a digital ID in theory. But I just wonder how easy it's going to be to basically defraud the system and create a digital ID somehow. I don't know. It's like everything in life, isn't it? Doesn't matter what it is, there's always someone out there that will rip it off. So no reporting as US shutdown. So once shutdown is resolved, we'll be reporting again. So you're saying we're not going to get any figures from now? The last lockdown we had in shutdown we had was in 2000 and before COVID, 2018 or something like that. Last US government shutdown, and I think it was about a month. Look at that, December 2018. God, I'm good. Oh, funny enough, Donald Trump. Yeah, till January. So it was about a month, wasn't it? Over Christmas period. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I've got to be a little bit careful here. Sorry, bear with me a second. Just suddenly realised Did I set? No, I didn't. Yeah. Phew. I've got this set at 600 on my. I've got the daily profit trigger set to 600 on my funded account, and I just suddenly thought, have I got it set the same on here? Because I don't want this to shut off at 600. Oh, actually, I do, because that will get me over the line, won't it? Okay. Nasdaq long as well. Busy today. So FX wise, there's no ADRs to look at today. RSIs, there's nothing to look at apart from the DAX. So everything's flat. So DAX is nicely extended on the 4 hour, really extended, but we're at these big old highs. So yeah, I mean, this is exactly where you want to be shorting it up here. Gold. Jesus, what? Look at that Nasdaq. Immediate stop out on the same candle. How to lose $240 within 5 minutes. Gold, long, short Nasdaq. Wow. This could be one of those sessions where I watch my entire balance disappear. Choppy as hell, isn't it? Okay, so long break didn't work. Nasdaq short. Look at this. There's volatility today. This thing's alive today, isn't it? The Fed are talking. No other news this morning. So just so if you're in here and you're a member, I don't know if there's any in here, but at 3:30 today we've got the live Q&A. I covered it this morning in the members stream that we did this morning, where we covered price action patterns. There was no questions this week on any of the content from this week's lessons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the economic data lesson this afternoon at 3:30. So if you're a member, obviously you can come into that one live on Zoom. We'll go through that content and then we'll do a Q&A session after it. But we're banging through the lessons. So all these ones in blue are now complete. We're up to here, which I'll do this afternoon. And then obviously Monday we'll go into ADR indicators. Then we're going to go into the strategy development and backtesting side of things. Once we've completed that, then we're going over to, I think I'm going to do the prop first. The new scalping strategy, I might also, I don't know which one of those I'm going to do first, but we're going to be covering the fundamentals today. And part of this lesson today is about positioning before and after key events, news-wise, to obviously profit from them. So it's all kind of linked in. Long on gold. Choppy. Spend some time. No, I've already answered that. Absolutely right. PMIs, maybe, and jobless claims, definitely not. No. So anything government related, basically, isn't it? We're not going to get news on. So let's just have a look at what we've got next week. I must do this with my calendar. Actually, I don't have news for next week. Mine's coming in weekly. So US next week. Is the Fed affected? I don't know if the Fed's affected or not. Unemployment we won't get. Average earnings we won't get. Right, okay, so non-farm they've put through to next Friday. So what they're doing is they're just pushing NFP and unemployment back week by week, aren't they, I think? So if it doesn't come out, it will then get pushed back. So this is for next week, look, that's this week's unemployment and next week's unemployment. So they're going to release this week's and next week's back to back. Oh, could you imagine being in one of the scorecarders in one of the main banks in the analyst desks at the moment? you'll be like sitting there next week going, well, what do I do with this? I don't have two at the same time. What do I do with it? Then they're just not going to know, are they? I think it's going to be some serious volatility when this news comes out next week. We will see. Should be fun. Fed is independent. Yeah. So we should we'll get the FOMC meeting minutes next Wednesday, but other than that, we might struggle a little bit. Gold starting to pull back. I could do without it being a choppy session today, to be honest. That's really annoying. If that NASDAQ hadn't have stopped out, I'd be one trade away from passing. Never mind. Going to stop out on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's just in rotation. It's just going to be chopped today, I think. Wait and see. It's not over yet. Just dropped 53.9. What did? PMIs? That's not the ISM. That's the S&P. That doesn't mean anything. Nobody listens to that. You want to listen to the ISM. If you filter down to absolutely means nothing news, you'll see the S&P one in there. That doesn't mean anything. That is not impact. Stopping out on the NASDAQ. Thanks, NASDAQ. We just undid in my entire morning's gold trading. Dow's breaking very nicely to the upside. So if we have a look at where we are at the moment on these, we're out into not all-time highs, but we are up at the high from the 23rd of September and trying to break through. So good chance if we do get through this level today, we will get a little pop out the top there. Quite how far we go, but we're meeting a bit of resistance there, aren't we? So fairly decent move on the cards if we can break out. Just mark that on the chart. So that's that high. Exactly where we are at the moment. NASDAQ. We're just sort of this high, aren't we? Oh no, we're not. No. So, yeah, NASDAQ can go either way today. We're going out into new highs if we do break long, but we're stuck inside bar on the 15-minute candle. Gold pulling back. Gutted. It's going to be one of those sessions where I just basically get lovely breaks on one, make a load of money, and the other two take the money back. I don't like those sessions. Tricky. So we got news in 10 minutes, PMIs. So it may be that the market is just going to sit around and wait for the PMI figures to come out. If that's the case, obviously we'll take a break of whatever is available at that time, depending on whether I'm still in or not. But big outside bar on the NAS there. So they're just clearing the decks either way ahead of the news. Potentially those PMIs would just take it off. But I'm just wondering how much the market's going to move today based on obviously the indecision we've got at the moment with what's going on in the US with this lockdown. I don't know whether we're going to get much movement today. It's Friday as well. Tends to be a bit quiet, doesn't it, on a Friday? DAX coming down nicely still. Beautiful ORB today. Still trying to make new lows. But yeah, nothing on the dashboards either. So absolute crap today. There's no movement anywhere. Dollar is weak, as you'd expect. Swiss is the strong. So US dollar Swiss would be the biggest mover of the day, which is nothing. Look, that's literally the biggest movement we've had today. Half an ADR. Can't do anything with forex today. It's just not doing anything, is it? Okay, Dow is nice and cleanly out of that high. Well, at the moment, it's holding above that high. Whether it actually closes above the high, we've got 3 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. I'm kind of tempted to shut stuff and just call it a day today, but I'll see. Nasdaq's trying to push out the highs. That's going to be a stop out, isn't it? Stopped out on the Nas. Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it's going to be a 6-bar break today. If this stays within, so if the next 5-minute candle closes back inside this range, that is going to be the range break today on the Nasdaq. Gold's pulling back as well, which I'm not really that surprised about after this big parabolic move. Tempted to just take a little manual on this, but I might leave it. Okay, if gold can hold up and we get a break on gold and that hits target, I think I might leave the Nasdaq. We'll see how we go. We've got 5 minutes, basically. Were WTI worth a long at $61? Afternoon, Franco. Did a quick run on gold opening. Yeah, I made some money on gold today as well. Took that break there. And I got it all. Actually, I didn't get it all. I got it till about here. Oil. Blimey, we're down. We're approaching $60 a barrel. So you got this downside support here. Previous resistance, which is coming up at ADR today. So if we get a push down into ADR today, if that is a false breakout, what was that? Oh, target hit on the Dow. Sorry, my maths is not working in my head. Yeah, that's right. NASDAQ pulling down again. Look at that. They are really clearing the decks on that NASDAQ. I think the NASDAQ's getting ready to pop on the news. Yeah, oil, I don't know. I would be looking for a hit in ADR, but where you've actually just tapped into here, that low, look, is here. So this could be a nice bounce point, but I'm, you know, we've been holding this sort of $62 a barrel since August. Yeah, it had a go at holding it, and we suddenly broke down, and we've retested. That looks to me like it's going short, but the market can't sustain lower than $60 a barrel for long. Yeah, very rare it gets down below $60 a barrel because it's not economic to produce oil and sell it at $60 a barrel or less. They just don't make much money. I say much money. They make billions, but they don't obviously make as much as if they sell it for $70 a barrel, which makes them quadrillions. So, you know, you don't tend to be down there very much. Yeah, this area, they don't like it. So we'll see. Good spots to be buying from, though. It's nearly extended on the daily. 4 hour, you've been extended and embedded for the entire month, basically. So, yeah. Like it as a long. But I also like it as a short. That retest is a little bit worrying, isn't it? So that's your monthly low. That's your 2 monthly low. That's your weekly low, 2 weekly low. So this entire area, they've been buying it up for weeks and months. And as soon as we break through it, we test it and immediately reject it. So it looks like a stop and reverse order. But you are selling into support. So we could well just sit and do this like we did here in this area. Difficult to call oil. Oil's always difficult. I don't trade commodities much because they're driven by supply and demand, and supply and demand changes, especially with OPEC. OPEC at any second can just go increasing barrel counts. Boom, oil takes off. Yeah, decreasing barrel counts. You know, they just make it up as they go along, don't they? Because they want to control the price. So, you absolute git, NASDAQ. You watch that 30-minute range going too wide to trade now. That fire in LA gave oil a boost from $60. I didn't hear about and there's no new ones, is there? I'm talking about the old ones. Oil is a supply and demand driven product. So whatever happens around the world, there's always a change and shift in supply and demand, which is why it's a tricky instrument to trade, because you've got this constant flux. So, you know, you really need to understand it. And even then it'll just do what it wants. Like when the oil inventories come out on Wednesdays, it just decides to go crazy because the oil inventories are down. And then the next week, the oil inventories are down and it decides to do absolutely nothing. A mind of its own. Okay, 15-minute range in, short NASDAQ. I don't think that order just triggered, did it? Oof, a bit late. There's the news. I got quite badly slipped on that. Got gap on the Dow. So that just shows you there's not necessarily a lot of liquidity in this market today. That might explain why we're moving, because if you get gaps, it's usually because there's a liquidity void. There's not enough orders in the market to fulfill the orders. I got really badly slipped on that on futures. Negative dollar. It's quite negative. What's the differential on that? 1.8. What's that? Services. So that's above the average differential. Average differential is 0.8. That's 1.8. So that's a big differential. So that is 50% of the biggest differential we've had, positive and negative. So that is quite a big move. We should get some movement off of this, hopefully. Although, like I say, I'm not sure whether the market's going to sit around for a bit and not really do much because we're not getting the unemployment numbers. Refinery in California has gone up, is it? Oh. Russians? Probably. Okay, so the second half of the Dow, which is only a quarter of the position, is going to stop out a break even by the looks of things. That Dow's not been able to move. Gold's trying to pull back. NASDAQ, so looking at downside targets on the NASDAQ today. Obviously, this low from the New York session yesterday is also yesterday's low. So partial on the way to yesterday's low is easily achievable if the market is going to break. So there's plenty of room to the downside, obviously, to get all the way down there today. That is a previous level as well, isn't it? No, don't know what that is. So yeah, so there's your low. That is also the close from Thursday. So yeah, good downside target today, plenty of room. Just got to hope it kind of gets there like that rather than doing that horrible big choppy stuff today. Dow's holding. So for those of you that were in the members stream Wednesday, it doesn't get more indecision than that, does it? Today's price action. So we are outside bar, indecision, inside bar, outside bar. So 20 minutes of I ain't got a clue going on at the moment on gold. Which obviously helps nobody. It is starting to pull back though. So this morning we were talking flag breaks, yeah? And I was trying to find some really good examples of flag breaks, yeah? Absolutely typical. Couldn't find one in the actual lesson. Do the live room. Classic. Spot on. So there's your flag break or your flag formation. There's your flag pole. So if this is going to be a continuation, there's a hell of a long way back down to support. So this is either going to be a pullback into support or it's going to be a flag break and run. So if you stick a fib on this and look for a 38 retracement, somewhere between a 23 to a 38 retracement. Why haven't I got a fib? Just a normal fib will do. Why do they make up so many fibs, look? Just bog standard fib. Really? I suppose you're talking. I suppose it's a Fibonacci extension. Oh, there's a retracement. Where is it then? Oh, it's there already. Oh, it's just I'm not used to MT5 and the way it does drawing. Anyway, let's take it from the bottom. Oh my god, and it's in yellow. So yeah, flag break, you'd be looking no more than 38 for a flag. Yeah, 23 possibly. It depends where you measure from, obviously, and that's kind of discretionary a little bit, but you could take it from the lows there, in which case we're at the 38 now. So basically you're just looking for some kind of retracement or bullish pattern coming in shortly. Upside on the Dow. Oh, we looked at this, didn't we? We're out of the highs. So yeah, upside on the Dow is as far as it will go today. Afternoon, Pot DJ. How are we doing? Right, so it's 8 minutes past. I need to go at 15:15 because we've got the member stream at 30:30. So if you are a member coming into this afternoon's live Zoom call, we are on at 3:30 doing economic data today. That sounded like a stop out. These are the PMI movements we've had for the last sort of 10 releases. Got a load of orders being filled for. Okay, stopped out on gold and flipped short. Rallying on the Dow, Nasdaq's out the lows. David, afternoon. Thank you very much for the $10. Why did it not flash up on the screen like it normally does? Didn't do it for me, and there was no noise. Sorry about that, David. Thank you very much for the $10. Much appreciated. That'll go towards the cinema tomorrow. I'm going to see Leonardo DiCaprio in his new film tomorrow. Not sure what it's about, but it's usually quite good if it's got Leonardo DiCaprio in it. Wolf of Wall Street was anyway. Gold hit 38 retracement. Depends where you're measuring from. So there you go. So potentially that's going to double stop me out. In fact, it is going to double stop me out. Too whippy today, gold. Wouldn't be surprised if I see a double stop out on that. It's just a whippy day at the moment. It's just there's a lot of A lot of spiky movement today, which is always a bit tricky. But Franco, $2. Thank you very much. Great peaceful weekend. We'll get them next week. We're not out of it yet. We're still in the game. I'm break even basically on the day on this account at the moment, which is fine. I was kind of just hoping to get it over the line today, but I've got to bank $800 now, which if the Dow screams off to the upside, the NASDAQ screams off to the downside, and gold actually breaks short and continues breaking short, which, to be fair, I don't know. It's going to need the dollar to rally, isn't it? We just had negative news on the PMIs. So the chances of the dollar rallying on negative news on the PMIs, I think, is probably not really on the cards. But it might do. You never know. So selling into support, which is never great. But that is momentum. So one or the other will happen. Thank you very much. Much appreciated for the tips. Always nice. That'll buy a cinema ticket. And probably about 10 pieces of popcorn. Popcorn is more expensive than cinema tickets. Go figure. We pay the actors millions and millions and millions, and they make their money by selling popcorn. The world's gone nuts. Gold pushing down again, finding some support on the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, obviously this breaks short. We've got loads of wiggle room if we're going to come and test yesterday's low. So there's that's pretty safe unless we go into rotation. So we'll see how we go on that one, but there's plenty of time on the NASDAQ. So going to leave that one running. Dow obviously partially is taken. We'll be taking a trailer on it. Gold obviously, we'll see if this isn't a flag break and this is basically a retracement starting. Then there's plenty of money to be made there, but we'll see. Gonna let the edge play out basically. I am going to, however, lock in a bit more profit on this morning's DAX trade. I might as well lock that in a little bit tighter. It's either going to break that high and come and retest that resistance. So my trailer was up there. There's no point in taking it off there when it bounces. I might as well take it off there on its way to bouncing. Take more money. Doesn't make sense to leave it. So I'll take that off. If that continues to drop though, obviously, we'll just hold that for the rest of the day. So yeah, everything's kind of going in the right direction now. Just a whippy start, unfortunately. So 3 stop outs. One clean break. And obviously these are both now in profit. Okay, so watch gold here. Strong dollar. This dollar's reacting really strongly to that PMI number. Right. So pound US coming down, Euro US coming down. US dollar will be running against the Canadian and the Swiss. So big downside rejection and bullish move on the dollar on the negative numbers. Okay, so there's your resistance on gold. So sorry, support. So we've got one whacking great propulsion gap being formed here. When we get that first green candle going in however, wherever it stops, that is your area for retest shorts today. Might just come straight off of that low and bounce. We'll see. Right. Oh, don't want to do that. So I'll let those run, see where we go this afternoon. It's hit and miss this afternoon. It is Fridays. Fridays can be very hit and miss, but everything's going in the right direction. So gold break to the downside. Dow is retested and gone. NASDAQ, we're waiting for that retest of the break and the 5-minute ORB, which is here. So somewhere in that area, we'll be looking for shorts to come in. If not, these are just going to go into rotation. It's just going to be a stop out day to day. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to take it on the chin. Wait for the big breaks. I'll be back on Monday. So Monday, as usual, we have next week. Where are we? Monday, 6th. So we'll be looking at trading the DAX in the morning on YouTube. And then obviously usual stuff, have a look at the week coming up, look at what news events we've got coming up, although it's going to be a bit of a mess next week. Monday member stream. I think Monday I'm going to focus on ADR because that's probably going to be a good half an hour, maybe 3/4 of an hour. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to move these two back into Wednesday. So I've just got to push all these streams back because we're catching up with ourselves. Some of these ones that we've done over the last week have taken longer than anticipated. So I'm kind of a little bit behind trying to get 2 lessons in. I don't think it's actually possible to get 2 lessons into a session. So this one I'm going to do, and then we'll probably push that back. So next week, we're going to be doing 10 steps to building your own strategy after we've done ADR. And then we're going to do back testing basics for MT4 and MT5. We're going to touch on robustness testing, system parameter permutation testing, that sort of stuff. And then we'll go into prop next week. So if you want to join in that, feel free. And then economic data this afternoon in about 12 minutes. So I'm going to grab a coffee and then we'll do that. And fingers crossed, this all collapses and I get this proper valuation over the line. But the way it's going at the moment, don't know. It's Friday. All right, so have a good weekend. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Discord and Telegram. Other than that, back next week for normal streams, and have a good day.